Guys, I just wanted to talk about something. Okay, I'm home alone right now, as you can probably hear. And I don't know, I've just been contemplating making this video for quite a while, actually. Probably a few months, because I've been having some recording problems, as some of you have maybe even suspected. Because there's no way I'd let off doing video. I have a passion for this. I love you guys, and I want to entertain you. I'm hopefully gonna pump out some more videos soon. But really, just what I want to talk about is my second favorite concept of humanity, basically, philosophy, and the concepts of death, memory loss, and mourning, basically. Um, I don't really know how to start this, but I'm just gonna wing it. I'm just gonna wing it. You're just gonna get my raw, unfiltered thoughts, and we're just gonna go from there. Uh, so basically, death is one of the most demonized things in modern pop culture because that's just it's something that makes us uncomfortable. The end of something is always just iffy. It's like there are certain endings to things that are good, but most endings of things are not supposed to be universally seen as good. And that's why death is given such a bad rap. Because death is the end of a person's life. And the only thing that we are used to universally is living. And people will say, oh, maybe there is an afterlife, maybe that, but I mean, I'm a religious man myself. I mean, I have a cross necklace. I believe in Jesus. I believe in heaven. I believe in an afterlife. But for the first 13 years of my life, I didn't. I thought that when I died, there was simply going to be nothing. That's why I tried to live my life to the fullest. That's why I tried to experience a lot of things. Then when I got older, when I got out of that, into the double digits age, basically. I was barely even a freaking teenager yet, but that's not, it is kind of relevant. But anyways, back to the main topic. When I started to get older, I started doing less adventurous things and stopped branching out. And I was scared that I wouldn't be able to experience these things before I died. Maybe I was going to get murdered, or maybe I was going to die from natural causes, maybe I was going to get sick. And that was my fear. I always feared death. Ever since the age of 2, maybe, I knew what death was. When my great-grandmother died, and I first saw, my dad, he was crying, and that was the first time I felt genuine, independent, on my own, sadness. I actually felt genuinely sad. That's when I understood what death was and what it does. Because obviously we're taught what death is. It's the end, point of no return, everything's over. Life is done. But what they don't tell you about death is we are going to learn, or at least experience, the death of people around us. And that's what they don't prepare you about life, is the process of mourning. And that's why mourning is such a powerful thing to go through, because it's so profoundly depressing and dark and grim and morbid that it changes you psychologically, basically. It turns you into a more callous person. I mean, some people maybe stay the same. I don't know, because I haven't gone through a very big state of mourning, because I was probably young when a lot of things that I knew died, and I couldn't really process it. But if someone that I knew died now, I think it would hit me a lot harder because I know what death is in a more intimate standpoint. So that's why I don't really know what mourning is. So I can't have an opinion on it because I haven't felt it. I can have an opinion on pain. I felt pain before, but I haven't mourned the loss of, say, my mom. If my mom died, I would be, like, completely depressed. I would be so sad. And that's why that's when I would know I could have an opinion on mourning because I know what it feels like. So that's why I don't speak on mourning topics. I just say I'm sorry for your loss and that's it. I don't know what else to say. I can't say anything else. There is no other way of explaining it if you don't know what it feels like. So that's why death is such a demonized subject, because it's so hard to grasp because we never experienced death before. Because the people who've experienced death, like 99% of the time, aren't going to be able to tell us because they're dead. We can't communicate with the dead because they are detached in a different state of being. They are no longer with us. That's why they say they're no longer with us. They are detached from the reality that we are bound to. And that's another thing that what I find fascinating about death is because it's basically like we have this plug-in, and when we die, they pull the plug. We're dead. We're disconnected. And that's why I think humans have come up with this idea of an afterlife. Because what if you're plugged off and then you're in a new existence? You're in a new state of living. And I've heard about this. People say that dying feels like this embrace, like this warm embrace of their predecessors, like their ancestors or something. People who have died before them, who probably knew them. Who knows? And that's something that really, I guess it made death less scary for me. And I like to look at it as in a more positively pessimistic side, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm just gonna be like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to perceive that because I'm gonna be dead. Okay, that's why I don't want to die in a hospital bed at like 80 years old. I want to die from, like, say, a heart attack or something, or I want to get like, I don't want to get murdered, but like, I want to die instantaneously, because then I'm going to be like, oh, I'm not going to feel anything because I'm going to be dead. But when you're on, like, hospice or something, you're going to be, like, slowly descending into the feeling of death. And that's going to be, like, when you're like, wow, I'm going to die, and I have no idea what I'm going to do about it. And that's what I don't want to happen. I don't want to live until, like, 85, and then I'm going to die in a hospital bed. That's not what I want. I want to, like, I don't want to slowly settle into it. I just want to be dead. I just wanted to get it over with. So I guess that's what makes death such a morbidly interesting topic, is because we barely know anything, like, factually about it. We can only really theorize. But I guess it's just a concept that I've not come to be fond of, but to be interested in. Uh, I find it endearing. Okay, morbidly endearing. Of course, it's grim, and we shouldn't dwell on it too much, because it's going to be time-consuming. It's going to make your life miserable if you're just constantly in fear of death. So that's why we have happy days. So, like, it's kind of like zones us out of, like, thinking outside of the box and constantly being in fear, because it's just like, just enjoy life, be optimistic, do what you want to do what makes you happy. So just man, this really sucks. This was going worse than I planned. But I guess I just wanted to make this video of like just about death, basically. I'm gonna show you this like family heirloom that I have. It's this guitar. It's this Gibson Les Paul. That was my uncle's. It was the first guitar he bought with like his own money and stuff. There's a bunch of stickers on the back. And I like to keep this. I like that I own this now, that he passed it down to me, because when my uncle eventually dies, I will have something to remember him by. And this will be like... This will be a great souvenir to remember him by, because it's something that brought him joy. And so, like, this is what I encourage you to do. That, like, if you know that one of your close, like, loved ones or people that you're close to are going to die, or you just want to make sure you get, like, say, their favorite music, or a souvenir to remember them by. It's just something great to have. It's just something good to have when they do eventually pass, so you kind of, like, have something to soothe your sorrow, in a way. So I love having this guitar, so, like, I can remember him, and I can pass it down through generations, say, like, he's gone now, but this is just the remnants of what once was his. Like, this was what his legacy kind of steps out. It's like his... I don't know, it's complicated, but just... I want to encourage you to do the same thing. I want you to have something to remember a past loved one by. Obviously, my uncle's not dead yet, but it's something that I like to keep around. So, I just want to make sure that you knew that, and that's basically really all I had to say. Yeah, so, love you, Jesus loves you, and have a good night, morning, or whatever time of the day it is for you. Goodbye.